What are you doing here? Imagine the title of this video. Imagine the title of this video on a door. And you see it, you see Galaxy S24 Ultra versus Galaxy Note 9. And yes, I'm going to have ammunition to use my phone for another year, to not upgrade for a sixth year from my Note 9, to cling to my Note 9 for another year. And you open that door, and instead of seeing all the justifications that you want to see, it's your family and friends sitting around in a circle asking you to have a seat. What are you doing? I understand. Look, a couple different arguments here. If you're somebody, if it's an economic thing, if you don't want to upgrade, if you bought one of these cheap and you're using it and it is what it is, and you just need a phone to get you by, the Note 9's still fine. You're missing upgrades and there's various other things involved there, but performance-wise, it's about on par with a Galaxy A53 or something at this point. You can get some stuff done with it. It still is usable, so there's reasons why you'd want to hold on to it for economic reasons, and you could absolutely get by with a Galaxy Note 9. But if you're the person who's sitting there, and every year you have, I didn't want the Note 20 Ultra, didn't like it. The S21 Ultra, didn't like that one either. I didn't like the redesign. I didn't like this. The S22, there's some problems with it. No expandable storage. Wait another year. S23 Ultra, you didn't feel like it. Now the S24 Ultra. How many comments I got on my S24 Ultra video about people saying that they're on like the 6th battery with their Note 9. They're hanging on to it. I get it, okay? Lovely design. Absolutely phenomenal. Last true note. Expandable storage. Headphone jack. Physical fingerprint sensor, iris sensor, beautiful display, which right now, if you're until they fix things on the S24 Ultra, I think arguably, not resolution-wise, of course, but in terms of colors and poppiness and whatever vibrancy, right now arguably better than the S24 Ultra. So you have that going for you. But here's where it starts to, and then you got the S Pen on the right-hand side, which I absolutely love. You still get the creature comforts of a premium build and all the rest of it. But I'm telling you this now. I thought last year would be the last year that you got a reprieve. But I really think that this year is it. You can see on the Samsung website, link in the description, does help the channel. $400 they'll give you for this right now. You're like the people sitting there, it's like deal or no deal. And Howie Mandel is sitting there with a briefcase labeled $950,000. And you say, yeah, you know what? I'm not taking it. There's one out there for $1 million. And guess what? There's not. $400 is the highest, best deal you will get for a Note 9 for now and forever. That is it. If you pass on the $400 they're going to give you on the Note 9 after this promotional period is over, you might as well keep it, which a lot of people are going to do. If they offer you less than that, I would wind up keeping this anyway. I understand why everybody's clung to this device for so long. I am absolutely sympathetic to your cause and why you would. If you like the super tapered display, still think that looks futuristic, this is something that does that still. You still get that. It's still, daily tasks are not bad. Like I said, it could be relatively snappy. Snapdragon 845. Think about this though. 8 gigs of RAM on this device right here. You want to know why? Because the Snapdragon 845 is limited to 8 gigs. We're talking about a chipset that's RAM limited. That's how long ago this phone was. August of 2018, this phone came out. So if you're somebody who's just been hesitant, you can't get rid of the expandable storage because you need to carry around those PDFs that you haven't looked at since 2019. I get it. It's tough. I get it. Every time I pull this thing out and charge it back up and get it updated and start using it, I absolutely love it. There's something about it. Whether it's the headphone jack, whether it's a physical fingerprint sensor, whether it's just the super vibrant display. Back when Samsung cared about that, the S21 Ultra was the last device that really had that super vibrant display that you have here. The design was, I love the taper to kind of the thinner frame. Then you have this design on the back. Then you have the little accent pop of color here with the yellow S Pen. I love that as well. You had air commands. You had so many cool things with this device, and it was so great for so long. But this phone launched with TouchWiz. Not yesterday. We've had One UI for a while now. This didn't get One UI until a few months after its launch. So if I'm going to sit there and tell you to keep your Note 9 for another year, it better be for very specific circumstances like what we talked about. If it's an economic thing, if you pick one up, you're really not in a good spot, whatever it happens to be. Things are very expensive right now, and there is no shame in that. You want to hang on to your Note 9 because that's what you got and you need it to get you through. Then, you're going to be dealing with some battery life issues and a couple other things at this point. But otherwise, for just kind of your basic tasks, you can absolutely still get stuff done on the Note 9. But if you're that person who's hanging on, who has looked at these devices over the last few years and said, you know what, just not quite, doesn't meet my standard. My friend, your standard's not coming back. Headphone jacks aren't coming back. Expandable storage isn't coming back. Physical fingerprint sensors, forget it. You might as well have a hand crank starts for your car. You sit there and you got to do the choke to get the gas. It's not coming back. Your cars aren't carbureted anymore. So there's several things that I think people are holding on to, thinking, wow, well, maybe next year. No. Get the value out of the Note 9 that the Note 9 deserves, or retire it gracefully. Put it in the drawer, right? Put it in the museum. I know if you're somebody who still got a Note 9, you're into tech and you watch all these videos, you probably got a little memorial downstairs or something like that, where you got some of your phones, your old phones. Put it in there. Still could be a backup, right? Something goes wrong, whatever, you got to send it back. All this stuff. You don't like it, you can still go back. So if you don't take the $400, if you're sentimental to a fault, and you say, you know what, I want to hold on to this device, you can. I'm holding on to mine, because I can still do videos on it and stuff like that. It's a tax write-off at this point. But other than that, I really, 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 with the 7 years of support, the advancements that they've made, the performance advancements, you might think, oh, well, this is pretty good. I could kind of still get stuff done here, and it's still relatively snappy, and I open up apps, and I scroll stuff. You have no idea what the difference is in performance between these two. Year over year, not a lot of performance difference. Absolutely, 100%. Snapdragon 845, 855, 865, AAA, whatever. That's a different story. We're talking 6 generations, basically, between these two. You're going to notice it. You're going to notice the AI enhancements. You're going to notice the niceness of One UI 6 and 6.1, how smooth it is. You really don't have that over here. One UI was still good over here. It had gotten better by the time that software updates ended for the Note 9, but it wasn't what it is today. It isn't the silky smooth, best on Android experience that we get today. This phone was still rivals with OnePlus when Oxygen OS wasn't awful, a couple different things. But now you're going to really notice a lot of the enhancements over here. Build quality is going to be about the same, right? It's still a flagship build quality, so not a lot has changed over the years there. But under the hood, what you can do, camera-wise, all this stuff is, well, you said, well, I didn't want the Note 10 or whatever else, and you could have gotten away with that. You can't use that excuse anymore over here for the S24 Ultra. So I'm going to still do videos on the Note 9. I'm still going to reach out to you guys on the Note 9 for people who wanted to hang on to it. People just can't let go of it. I'll be totally perplexed next year when we're doing the S25 Ultra versus the Note 9. I got to tell you that. But at the same time, understand I'm coming to you as a friend. Samsung Pay, the old school Samsung Pay, where it replicated the magnetic strip and the thing. Lots of reasons to love your Note 9. Lots of reasons. No one's saying to hate your Note 9 and give it up in favor of an S24 Ultra. This is just what now has become the annual plea to use your head a little bit, and maybe, even if you don't want to trade this in and get the money, maybe just upgrade, have a newer phone there just in case things start to go south with your Note 9. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.